Yeah, I mean, obviously, no secret. I think that would hurt any team. Best player on your team is out, so obviously it's going to be tough to filter in his offense or his ability to make things happen out of nothing. But I think we have the guys in here to compensate, and we have the right guys in here, and we know that we have to play a tight checking game, probably tighter than ever. So, obviously it sucks. It sucks for us. Like I said, that would hurt any team in the world, I think so. But we have to find ways to win hockey games without him too.
I mean, it could have been worse, I'm sure, but I imagine Connor was pretty disappointed in your opportunity to speak with him. What did you say about kind of how he's taking this?
I mean, it's obviously frustrating for him. He's had such a great season so far, and he's played at such a high level. Even coming after his serious injury in the summer. So, I think it's frustrating for him. I think it's frustrating for us. But again, we have to find ways to go around that and be productive and be successful without him.
There have been a lot of nights where you guys have been able to outscore your opponents just because of the sheer offense you guys can bring. Do you feel that you've developed as a group that kind of overall game that you might need to lean on a little more now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when you have guys like him, the odd game, you're going to outscore a team, and I think we relied on that too much in maybe the years past and maybe even the start of the season. But I think we've really figured out as a group how we have to play, how we can beat teams. So I think we took a big step in the right direction that way.
Just considering his work ethic, do you expect to see him back sooner than later?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I'm not sure personally how serious it is, to be honest with you. I'm sure the doctors and his people, they know. So, but with his work ethic, like you said, he's gonna do anything he can to be back as soon as possible.
You've had a really good offensive season this year, and you've done so centering your own line a lot this year. Is it positive in that you guys have been able to generate quite a bit of offense, even though you haven't been playing together?
Yeah, I think it makes our team dangerous. Obviously we have still the ability to play us together, but obviously our team looks deeper that way if we're on separate lines, and it's been working for us. We've been winning games, so it's been good. We just have to make sure we keep going.
There's fans and media were paid to make a big deal out of this. There's some panic out there in Edmonton. How in this dressing room do you make sure that guys chill and they don't make too big a deal out of losing?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it is a big deal. It's the best player in the world, and I think he, like I said before, if he's missing on any team, it hurts. We're not going to find a way around that. But we have to come in with the right mindset and make sure we, find our own game away from him, without him. And obviously, it's going to be a tight checking group in here that's going to defend like crazy and try and win games that way. So, but like I said, I think we have the guys in here to do that. So, I'm very confident in this group.
Kind of your reaction to losing your captain for a few weeks here, and how as a group you guys maybe deal with that?
Yeah, obviously it goes without saying how important he is to our team, and not only on the ice but in the locker room. And he's going to be missed. He's the best player in the league. Anytime that you don't have him in your lineup, he's going to be missed. So it's going to be for us. We're going to have to try to pick up some of his slack by committee, and we know he's going to be hungry to get back as soon as possible.
With both McDavid and Draisaitl in your lineup, there have been a lot of nights where you guys have been able to just flat out outscore other teams. But do you feel like you've developed as a group kind of that all-around tight checking game that you may need a little more in these next few weeks?
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a focus of ours. Obviously, when you have those two, it's kind of a 1-2 punch. It's hard for teams to. Teams are checking well with one line. It seems like the other one picks up the slack. So this is for us. It's going to be important to be tight checking, and we've been preaching all year. We know this time of the year that that's what wins you games, and we got to stick with that.
I know players are used to other players getting hurt, but were you guys, because he played the rest of the last game, whether you were a little bit, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but thought he was quote unquote okay, and now it's 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, he's obviously so tough. He haven't gone through that long recovery he went through in the summer. I'm sure he doesn't want to be in this position, but I mean that it could have been worse. And you just see how he doesn't want to get off the ice. He wants to be out there with us each and every day. And I know even in practice yesterday, he probably wanted to be out there the whole time. So that just shows the kind of guy he is.
In the room, is there an emotional sag, or do you just have to treat this like any other injury that comes down the pipe, even though it's not like a
Yeah, no, it's we got to. It's a challenge. Each and every one of us got to pick up a little bit more because that's how much he means to our team. Like it's a challenge. You can't be an emotional side. Can't be oh God, here it goes. Like just got to play. That's as simple as that.
I've been around enough to know when to speak and when not to. I think probably earlier in my career I did a lot of talking and not enough playing, and so I think there's a fine line between being a guy that jumps up and down here and yells and screams and kind of know when to speak and kind of give your team a boost. But obviously when you lose your captain for a little bit of time here, it's a blow to the team. We want to make sure that we're not going the wrong way here because of it. We want to grasp the situation, understand that it's not long term, and that we're in an important time in the season when we need points. So I think it gives opportunities to other guys to jump in and play big minutes for our team, and it's more important for a group now to grasp the team element of it and make sure we're all playing together, sticking together, and getting big points when Connor's out.
After a tough December, your team really bounced back with it ever since then. Solid 2020. What are the things that you saw that allowed that to happen that makes you feel confident that can continue even without Connor?
Yeah, well, I think when Yamo came up and Drat and Connor, no offense to them, but they got separated and it gave our team some depth there up front. Was a turning point in the season for a group. But I think we switched a couple of things X and O's wise that made our team more reliable defensively, giving up less and playing way better defensively. So we've done a few little adjustments that have really turned our season around and kind of gave this team a lot of confidence and understanding we can win any game that we go into. So I think that belief in here has kind of gotten stronger and stronger, and confidence is a scary thing when it gets moving in the right direction. I feel like our group has really grasped that and starting to understand how to win these close games down the stretch here.
You've been really good for the team, lots of wins. Anytime you lose an offensive guy, naturally a team says, hey, we really got to pick it up defensively, so there might even be more onus on you to play well. You kind of joked a few weeks ago how you were banging your head against the wall in December trying to figure out what was ailing your game. What fixed it? How have you made it look like a complete 180?
You know what? I think it's just taking a little bit of a step back and realizing that it's never as good as it seems and it's never as bad as it seems. And I think in December it seemed like it was bad. And then going back and looking at tape with Schwartzy and going over my game a little bit, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't like there was shots going in from the red line and it was like woo me, but it was just some good shots were going in. Probably a little bit of an impact on how we as a team were playing, and it wasn't as sharp as I needed to be, and the combination of those two things don't aren't a very good recipe for success. So I think just understanding that you're here for a reason. It wasn't like it was awful. It just needed a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit of a belief, and things have gone better as of late, and I want to keep that going when the games matter the most.
Every game's so important. This game's important tonight. He's not in. Okay, who's up and who's going to make an impact for us to win a game here? And that's the mindset we have to have. Every game, different people have to step up. Obviously, you lose a guy like him. You're not looking too far down the road. You're thinking about tonight, and there's a good Chicago team coming in here that's below us, and we have to get the win.
They're saying 2 to 3 weeks, but just considering his work ethic, what we all saw this summer in that documentary, do you expect it sooner rather than later?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But what I do know is, yeah, he's superhuman. I know that. I've seen it in the gym and whatnot. And I wouldn't put any timeline on anything with Connor. He's a really determined guy that has good genes. So we'll worry about tonight and then try to get the win for him.
Do you think, sorry, Zach, one more question. Sorry if you already answered this, jumped in late. Do you feel like this team is ready to embrace the challenge of maybe filling that void in other ways and kind of still getting points on the standings because you guys are in an ever crucial stretch drive right now?
Well, I think you never want to lose your best player, arguably the best player in the league. That's not by design or plan, but I think the good teams through an 82-game season go through injuries, and I think if we can get through this game and win a game, it builds your team. It builds our team. We'll have confidence, and if we can win tonight, it only grows our confidence. So when Connor does come back, I think we'll be a better all-around team.
And speaking of building, you guys are looking to build off a win on Saturday night. How do you guys do that? How do you make sure that things the positives kind of translate into today's game, into the start of today, et cetera, so you guys close out a 3-game homestand?
Yeah, it's an important game. Obviously, we played really well last game. We came from behind against a really good team, and our confidence is high right now. We have to ride that wave. Obviously, you looked at the standings. I feel like we always talk about the standings, but you win a game, you still don't have, you don't gain much ground, right? It keeps you in the fight longer. So we have to continue this, and obviously without Connor tonight, it's an important game for us to collectively, as a group, everyone give a little more and get the win for him.
Dave, obviously news about
What are we
Connor.
talking about today?
Well, there's a few things. I'm going to start with the news about Connor McDavid. You know, I know an optional skate, but are we going to see Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins on separate lines? What are we going to see lineup-wise today?
We'll figure that out.
Can you give us a hint?
Still working on it.
All right.
Got to get through the optional skate. We'll see how everybody feels.
What can you say?
They're all going to play. We only have 12 forwards right now, so they're all going to play. No matter where they're going to play.
Okay. You know, this team has been through some ups and downs already this season. A significant player lost. What do you think about the team's resilience, mental strength, whatever you want to call it, just to ride this out?
You know what? I think this team has grown a lot. And like you say, there's been some adversity here or there, and I'm really interested to see how we come along here. I mean, you got a lot of teams in the league right now have some injuries. Obviously, when you have a guy like Connor, that's a significant injury. Impacts a lot of the things you do as a team, but even the top players, when they go out, that creates opportunity. Maybe not all the opportunity for one guy, but for a number of guys to get more opportunities. We have to continue, like we've stressed right from training camp, we have to play well as a team, do things well as a team. And this puts a test to that because you have one of your best players that's not going to be there to help out, so somebody else has got to help pull that along. And it's not going to be one person, it's going to be our team concept that pulls us along. So I'm interested to see how we play. I think we'll play hard, I think we'll play well. And you know, I think it'll bring our team together, really out of respect for Connor, that we've got ourselves in a playoff push. Just because Connor's going to miss a little time doesn't mean we can't keep pushing.
Dave, did it come a little bit of a surprise, just given he finished the game, that he skated a couple of days later, and it seemed in the beginning like it was something that was pretty manageable?
I got the message last night at dinner, and I almost choked. No, it was. You know, I talked to him Sunday, came in, and he said he felt a lot better. I said, "Where is it today compared to yesterday?" He said it was better. So we didn't think much of it. I asked him if he wanted to go out for the power play stuff and just loosen it up. He wanted to go. And so, but you know, it was the right thing to do to get some images of it, and you know, obviously it showed there was some damage in there that he wants to, that we felt needed a few days off, and that's where we are. So it's, you know, when you lose a guy like Connor, it's everybody's okay, like what's going on here, but he's in good spirits, and I know they said 2 to 3 weeks. It'll be interesting to see what guy. I know he's anxious to get back already.
Dave, the philosophy of next man up obviously does not apply to Connor, so let's just get that out the window. Does this force your team, and I know you've emphasized, you know, improving checking and greater defensive play and all those sort of things, but are you going to have to play a little bit differently here during the short term?
Well, the answer to that is no, because we're trying to do the same things with Connor in the lineup as with him out of the lineup. They're still checking. There's all those things you just mentioned. You got to do those because Connor might be on the ice 20 minutes of the game. The other 40 minutes you still got to play, right? So you're going to miss that offensive push. You're going to miss him on the power play. You're going to miss the great plays he makes. So you have to try to manage that part of it. Maybe you get a couple less chances a game because he generates so much on his own. So you have to be cognizant of you're going to generate less chances maybe, but it's more opportunity, not just for one guy. There's going to be numerous people that are going to get more opportunity. But the style of play, and we're still trying to play a tight, hard-checking game with Connor in the lineup or without the lineup. You know, now, like I say, your offensive output might be a little less without Connor, so you really have to dial it in. But we're going to have to check well. We've been talking about that for the last 2 weeks. Like, we're going to have to check well. Our 5-on-5 play has to be good. Our special teams have been strong all year. That's going to be a big challenge because he takes that's a big bite of that power play that somebody's going to get an opportunity there. So I'm interested to see how some individuals and how our team reacts to it. And from all indications this morning in our meeting when we talked about the situation, I think we'll play well tonight.
I know you don't want to get into the specifics of lines just yet, but does this maybe accentuate the value of having centers on your team that can play wing for you if need be.
Yeah.
You've got
it gives,
left two top centers.
gives us a little bit of flexibility. Yeah.
Dave, of course, you talk about wanting to play good defensively and everything, but what about a player like Gaetan Haas? When you look for opportunities, is that a guy that you feel maybe has a little bit more offense in his game, and you might have to put him in more offensive roles now?
Well, you do. You have to push people into roles that maybe they wouldn't get the minutes when Connor's there, and he's one of the guys that we'll look to for a little bit. He'll maybe get a little more power play time now, but you have to have people that have to take a step forward, and not that they don't want to take a step forward before, they don't get the opportunity. So when players get that opportunity, there's lots of players always looking for more opportunity. So when they get it, it's what they do with it that really counts, and that's a great example of a player that's going to get more opportunity.
I know you don't know what your four lines are, but your first unit power play has been pretty much the same all year. Now with Neil out, it's obviously Chase on there.
Yeah.
Are there guys that you feel are best suited to not replace Connor, because you're not going to replace his skill, but take his spot on that first unit?
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit this morning, and talked with Gully a little bit this morning. We'll, we got a couple guys in mind that we'll give a try to there, and we'll just a little bit of trial and error. Like you say, our group's been together, other than the Neil and Chase on switching out. The group's been pretty static. So this is there'll be probably a couple guys. I mean, Gags could maybe get a little bit there. I think Yamo was ready to take a bigger step there, so we'll go through it and figure out who we think the best fit is, and away we go.
Dave, Mike Smith tonight, front here.
Yeah.
He said he had a really poor December. Are you at all surprised at the bounce back he's had in the crease, and why so? Because I know you've had him in the past.
I know the character he's got. I know how he prepares. I know the passion to be good. So. Players go, they have a little bit of downtime or whatever. The problem with Schmitty is, my history with him is when he's had a little bit of downtime, he cares so much, and he almost over tries for a little bit. He's got to get himself back to that balance where he's playing calm and playing well, and that's where he's at right now. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Dave.